Homes in Sacramento continue to rise, and with interest rates also rising, it makes it almost impossible for many residents to own a home. Prospective home buyers are getting creative and are turning to co-buying with friends and family members. Local real estate expert Sunny Agarwal is here to discuss how a co-ownership arrangement works, the pros, the cons, and how to protect yourself if anything falls through. Hello, Sunny.
Hey Denise, how are you?
We're doing good, and we wanted to ask you, why is co-buying appealing to home buyers right now?
So, with the median home price in Sacramento right now is actually sitting over $574,000. So, most people will need a dual income to qualify or afford for the mortgage. And so most home buyers are still married couples, but more and more people are waiting or choosing not to get married at all. In fact, this is a crazy stat. In the last 7 years, the number of co-buyers with different last names increased
Wow.
by 771%.
Wow.
So people who aren't married still want to become first-time home buyers so they can begin to build some equity.
And Sunny, who is co-buying right now?
So I've seen this a lot, even in my own family. It's friends, family members, unmarried couples, and even roommates. The cool thing about this too is that a lot of times the co-owners don't actually have to live in the same house because it's not a requirement. They can be people that buy into the house as an investment or just to help a family member or a friend.
Wow. And what are some of the benefits of co-owning a home?
So co-owners can split mortgage payments and the utilities all while building equity. And you can't build any equity when you're renting a house. When unmarried couples or friends buy a home with each other, they both generally have an equal claim to the value of the home. If they decide to part ways down the road, they can split it pretty easily, or one party can buy the other side out.
And how can you make co-buying successful?
So just like any kind of transaction, I think it's super important that you write everything down, right? Make a contract with the person that you're buying the house with. Include in that how the shares of the property will be divided. What happens if somebody passes away? What happens if somebody wants out? Who is responsible for what percentage of the utilities and what percentage of the payment? Just like anything, and I am a realtor, write it down, document it, make sure that it's documented.
Yeah, it seems really smart to, like you said, create a contract and write everything down. And what are you seeing in the housing market now, Sunny?
So the housing market is pretty hot news right now, right? So this is what we're seeing is the Fed has increased rates. They will continue. They've said that they will most likely continue to increase rates. The rates still aren't crazy high. When I first got started in this, rates were much higher, and in the 80s they were much higher.
Yeah.
People are worried about a housing crash similar to in the 2000s. I was there. That was brutal.
Yeah.
However, lending practices now are so much more solid, and people have equity in their homes, so it's going to be less likely to be another type of crash. And we still see the demand for homes because we still have a shortage of inventory.
Right.
Something we've seen right away, though, is less offers are coming in. So, Denise, instead of 22 or 35 or some crazy amount of offers, we're only seeing 4 or 5.
Wow.
So the buyers who are still in the market are going to be experiencing less competition.
So what advice do you have for people hoping to buy a home?
I say the first step always is to get pre-approved for a mortgage. You want to know what you qualify for and make sure that it's a recent pre-approval before you get out there and start looking at homes and make all kinds of dreams and plans. You got to see what your payment is going to be. Next, don't wait for the market to crash. I've been hearing that for 10 years. Everyone's always waiting for the market to tank, and it never does, and payments and values keep on going up along with rents. Finally, shameless plug, talk to a great realtor who can help you navigate the market properly.
All right. And Sunny, why would you say it's beneficial to talk to a realtor about this now in prospecting and wanting to buy a home?
So it's just good to have a plan and work with a professional, right? Like if I have a question about a medical issue I want to talk to a doctor. Like realtors will be able to give you the information. They're not going to charge you for some information. is definitely just the right way to deal with a professional when you're doing anything that's unknown and you're not doing every day, right?
Yeah. Well, Sanit, opening our eyes to co-buying. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Get more advice from Sanit and visit csacramentohomesnow.com.